Recharging your batteries, what you should and should not look at when you do that. On today's Inner Circle, we talk about how we recharge our batteries within the very confining world that we live in. You think about what we do. We manage with data all day long, right? Hardware, software, configuration. We manage data. That's what we do. It's very intense from several perspectives. We're detectives. That's what we do. We help identify errors within the data to help our stakeholders make sure the data is correct. And we make it also our stakeholders, because they own the data. We also have to sometimes put it, depend upon the organization. Sometimes they're updating the data and we have to manage that. That's what we do. That's our role. And it can be very intense. Intense from an adversity perspective. Folks want to do it or not do it, as well as conversation wise. But we think about it. We're going detective work nonstop, et cetera, right? And what happens when you go really, really strong for a long period of time? You get worn out. You get burned out. Been there myself. Totally get it. You get burned out one project after another, have multiple different initiatives to work on. How do you work through that, right? How do you recharge your own batteries? Does that mean at the end of the day that you're reading a book? Does that mean at the end of the day you walk away from technology because you don't want to deal with it? You go have a nice dinner somewhere. Does that mean at the end of the day that you're walking and paying attention to what's happening with your own ticker? You're go work out, exercise. That's an outlet. How are you recharging your batteries? You're doing it at the end of the day. You're doing it at the beginning of the day. See, I'm a 5 o'clock in the morning kind of guy. Trust me, not everybody's like me, but I am. And the reason why I tell you that is because what happens to me is my brain gets going first thing in the morning. And trust me, I have a notebook right next to me with all sorts of things. It's a couple books now. And I write down all these great ideas. Do they all get implemented? They don't. But do I capture them while they're live and have that insight? They do. They get captured. So I can go refer back to them and refer at another date and say, what was I thinking? I thought about this. Thought about how we're going to better measure the data. I thought about what the new activity I'm going to do within the co-op. I thought about, okay, what's my next topic for the Inner Circle? That my Inner Circle team's going to, and followers are going to want to listen to. Think about it. How are you going to drive that forward? How do you do it? Feel free to think about how you can do it yourself. Maybe it's prayer. Religion's very relevant on several different fronts. Maybe yours are go into prayer and you think about it. Helps you get into that utopian type of environment. So you're able to think about for your own mantra. Think about how you're able to focus on what your core need is. And maybe something happened over the last week where you need to make a change. Something on the home life is impacting the work or vice versa. And you have to look at things a little differently. How are you going to approach it? Think about it. That downtime goes a long way. Or journal. Journaling. Oh, I highly recommend journaling. Journal, get those thoughts out. Journal. That's the one thing that we do not do, at least in the US. Maybe it's done in other countries. You guys can comment on that. But think about what you can journal. Put down those thoughts, because when you put that thoughts, it's out of you. You stop thinking about it nonstop for analysis paralysis. I'm just as guilty as anyone else. And sometimes journaling 1 o'clock in the morning, it happens. I just got to get something off my mind. Writing it out is huge, because when I write it out, I might find out that everything I just journaled about, that's all I need to do. That was it. I just need to get off my mind and I'm great. I can go back to sleep and away I go. Or maybe journaling helped me identify how to better resolve an issue or from an adversity perspective. I'll think about it. So when you talk about recharging your batteries, think about what you can do outside of work. Think about how you are able to apply yourself and your skills, everything you try to do for someone else, but you're doing it for yourself. That's what we're talking about. How can you help you? Is your opportunity to do that? Because keep in mind, with everything we do, good friend of mine, Brendan Bouchard, he says, we are the power plant. We generate the energy for everyone else. And if we're going to do that, we have to have time to recharge our own batteries, to re-energize ourselves, to say, why are we doing it? Why are we, what makes it so passionate? And being able to say, it's time out, time to go have fun somewhere else. For example, what do? I go camping. I have fun with scouts. I do some leadership training with them. I walk away from technology. The best thing in the world for me, enjoy a weekend where technology does not work, whether it's in the mountains, which I've done a couple different places, or it's enjoying maybe whitewater rafting, where you're not going to leverage technology. Well, maybe for some pictures, but my point is, let someone else do the pictures. Let someone else have the fun. Take some time off for you. For example, another one for me, how I get re-energized? Presenting. I take Toastmasters. I do it during the week. How do I recharge my batteries? I know I have that 1 hour a week. I can go to Toastmasters and enjoy. Can't say I always make it because there's a lot of activities in the co-op that kind of conflict with that activity these days. But doing that is so much fun. As much as you think presenting, you present all the time, Bill. I do, but it makes me think about it differently. And that's what intrigues me. What's a new topic that I can talk about? Think about it. If you can improve your speaking and presenting, your ability to communicate, where do you sit? Now, going back to a book, we're going to start talking about books of the month. We're going to start doing that in the upcoming months. Right now, think about Think and Grow Rich. Oh, I know, Think and Grow Rich. It's actually by Napoleon Hill. If you've never read it, highly recommend it. It's down there. I know you can definitely look at it. It's available to you. I'm trying to find a quote there, but Think and Grow Rich. Think about how you are able to better achieve with what you're working on. Highly recommend it. It's the opportunity. It's the opportunity to put that, because here's a quote from the book. There are no limitations to the mind except for those that we acknowledge. There are no limitations in the mind except for those that we acknowledge. Think about it. Think about those limitations, everything we talk about. Are we acknowledging them? Or are we moving past those? It's all in our mind. Persevere. Well, that's it for Inner Circle today. I want to at least put a couple nuggets out there. I wish everybody the best over this long holiday weekend. I wanted to make sure I stay on target. I'm here for you. Feel free to reach out to me, IM me, message me, email me, whatever you need to do. I'm here for you, and feel free to reach out. Talk to you later. Bye now.